So today I wanted to try a new series where I review different insane or extreme demons that I've beaten. And to start off the series, I wanted to do xuser, morelike, luser by Akuna Kun. Now, first I'll give a brief summary of the level. It's extremely learny and definitely a memory level. 69 to 92% is the hardest part for sure, and the decoration is pretty dark and covers the gameplay a lot. It's also extremely unknown and has very few victors, which is why I wanted to give a summary on it and review the level. Now, this level actually originated as a joke about xuser by Kunakun, and I don't even think xuser knew this was going to be made. If you don't know, xuser made Weaves of Origin, which is a pretty popular insane memory demon, and he's pretty skilled. He's beaten a lot of insane demons and likes memory levels, I'm pretty sure. He was also, ironically, the first victor of xuser, more like loser, even though the level was made to be something he hated with a song he doesn't like and gameplay he doesn't like. The song is actually Sentience Uprising by Acid Notation. And I guess X User doesn't like Acid Notation songs, but I actually like the song. It's not my favorite Acid Notation song, but I still like Acid Notation songs a lot. The first part in the level is the ball part, and it's pretty much a blind first click when you get into it, and you also have to do a click at the end of the ball part, and it's like an extra click that you can't see, but those are the only really hard clicks. You have very limited vision throughout this whole part, and the gameplay is extremely confusing. Like, you're not going to be able to sight read the gameplay at all. But overall, the part is pretty cool, and the decoration looks really good, and I actually enjoy this part a lot. Now, the first ship part is where the level starts to get pretty hard. There's some hard timings, and it's very limited vision, and there's some straight fly, which is pretty scary, especially for me who does not like straight fly. It's also very learny. This is one of the pretty learny parts of the level. Most of the corridors, though, are pretty easy, and a lot of the orbs are easy too. Most of the straight fly is as the mini ship, and there are some hard orb timings that are pretty difficult, especially some purple and black orbs. The decoration is also really good in this part. It's probably the best decoration in the whole level. The second ship part is pretty short, but I've heard from some people that it's pretty difficult, and it's actually more difficult for them than the first ship part. This is also pretty learny, but I didn't really struggle with it that much. You have limited vision again throughout the whole part, and you can barely see the decoration, but it is there and it doesn't look too bad. The next part is the mini wave part, and I really like the decoration in this part again. I think the ship part still has better decoration. And again, this part is very, very learny. There's some weird clicks in it, but nothing too bad. The gameplay is pretty gimmicky, but I find it more fun than like normal ship parts and levels, so it's not too bad. There's also like this extra click you have to do at 55% where there's not D blocks on the slope or something, and you have to land on this little edge. It's really annoying, and I would die to that a lot. The normal wave part of that little section is a lot easier than the mini wave part, and I would pretty much pass it like every time I got past the mini wave. And there's a big section of it that's just auto. There are some like hard mini clicks in it, but nothing too bad. The next part is 69 to 92, which, as I said earlier, is by far the hardest part of the level, and it's also the learniest part, which sucks. But it took me about 2 hours to do this part. It was, well, not to do it, to fully learn it. And then it took me even longer to do it in one run. The first click is fully blind this time, and there's some just evil timings in this part. There's a green orb you have to hit multiple times, and that's like all timings, and it's super awkward to do. There's some super small micro clicks as the robot, and there's really hard timings. I like the decoration in this part, but it's not as good as the parts before it. It's just very chaotic. The gameplay's super unique, and for each person that tries this, you'll probably come up with a different route and a way to do it. Like, I skipped some orbs while I see some people do more of the orbs or do it differently. The way I did it is just what was easiest for me, so that's why I stuck with that. But after learning this part, it does become consistent, just like the other parts, but it is definitely the biggest hurdle to pass. The last ship part is really hard to transition into. Now, obviously, the spikes are fake if you couldn't tell by looking at it. It's still pretty learny, and the very end is especially extremely hard. Now, all Akuna-kun levels end with a straight fly, but the end of this level has a pretty hard straight fly, but it's actually easier compared to other levels by Akuna-kun, even some of his, like, insane demons. Like, Pyongyang's straight fly is actually harder, I think. And although I did die at 98 twice, I never actually died to the straight fly. It was always the part before. The decoration is fine in the last part, but it's pretty much covered up by the black spikes and stuff. So it's not really that good. So overall, I think the level's really cool. I kind of wish more people would play it, but I know a lot of people don't like memory levels, and it's extremely intimidating to get into. It just takes forever to learn, but it's a level that when you learn it, it's definitely doable. I would probably recommend it to people that like memory levels and maybe want a new hardest because it's pretty fun to play once you learn it. Well, if you like this new style of video I'm doing, this new format, then let me know in the comments. And if you don't like it, please let me know, but maybe like in a nice way, you know? And just tell me what you didn't like. Any feedback is good. If you want to see a certain level, you can let me know too, but I'm really only going to do levels I've beaten. Thank you for watching if you've made it this far, and I'll see you guys in another video.